Okay, great. Are you all seeing the screen? Okay, hello, welcome everyone. If you all can give me a thumbs up, let me know that you're able to hear me fine this morning. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I see we've got a couple people on. We're just going to give a few more minutes for other people to get signed in and joined with our webinar this morning. Okay, super. Okay. Sunday, were we able to get Lee connected?
Not it. Just give us 5 minutes.
Okay, okay. I can go ahead with the presentation. I've got the slides myself, so if you need to help him, that's fine. Okay. All right. Okay, then I think we'll go ahead and get started here. You should be able to see my screen. About today, we are announcing our new partnership with GraceSoft and Vrbo. And so this is an exciting new partnership that we have. And so we're going to be sharing a little bit about both companies this morning. So we are an official now connected partner with Vrbo, and this is going to be an amazing partnership for our vacational rental customers. And so we're excited to announce this. So GraceSoft and Vrbo are two leading names in the hospitality and vacation rental space. And we believe that this collaboration will enhance property management solutions, streamline operations, and create seamless booking experiences for vacation rental owners and guests alike. So this integration will provide innovative property management technology from GraceSoft and connect it with Vrbo's extensive vacation rental marketplace. Property managers will be able to maximize bookings, optimize operations, and provide superior guest experiences. And so we just want to take a few minutes and just share about GraceSoft for some of those on the webinar that may not be familiar with our solutions. And so GraceSoft was established in 1999 with the Easy Innkeeping, the award-winning property management system. Gideon Stanley is our founder and CEO, and he actually designed the first Easy Innkeeping product with the goal to provide a user-friendly booking system and cost-effective solutions for all types of lodging facilities. And just a couple words about Easy Innkeeping. It's a simple and user-friendly solution. That's one of our key selling points in the marketplace is we provide a user-friendly software. It is easy to use. Simplicity is our motto. GraceSoft strives to make our solutions accessible for all users, even those with minimal technical skills. And so our customers talk about that there's really a minimal learning curve. And so it requires little training. It allows our property managers to get up and running quickly on the system. And then one of the favorite features of Easy Innkeeping for our customers is the reservation calendar, which streamlines tasks like reservations, guest interactions with email and payment automation. So just a quick summary of what GraceSoft provides through Easy Innkeeping for those of you who are not familiar with the system. Of course, it manages reservation management, handles your bookings in a user-friendly interface. We also just recently launched a mobile app. And so once you're subscribed to any Easy Innkeeping service, you can download the app and use it on Google Play or App Store. GraceSoft offers an online booking engine, which will accept bookings directly from your website. And we also have a channel manager that will help you manage multiple booking channels, including Vrbo. Our email marketing feature helps you engage guests with targeted email campaigns. And then our point of sale is used by our customers that have on-site gift shops or restaurants. And of course, we provide connectivity with credit cards, credit card processing. And so GraceSoft is unique in the fact that we offer multiple connections to different payment gateways. And so we offer some of the very standard payment gateway connections and to provide the secure payment processing. And then a couple other services that we have added in the last couple years, website design services, and we help our customers create an online presence, and then also SEO services, which will help you improve traffic to your website. Another thing that we're very proud of with GraceSoft is our support service. So we have 24/7 real agent chat support for our customers. We provide phone support during the week, and then we have a knowledge base we recently upgraded this year that has a great resource of articles, guides, and videos. And so just a few takeaways from the actual connection between Vrbo and GraceSoft. So this will be a seamless listing synchronization. GraceSoft and Vrbo automatically sync property, details, photos, descriptions, and amenities. And we're going to give you a quick demo of that before we finish today. And so that pretty much summarizes, just in terms of a quick summary about Vrbo and GraceSoft working together. And so at this time, I would like to introduce Lee.
Thank you, Sarah. Can you guys see my
Yes.
screen?
I just stopped sharing, so not yet. And Lee is actually with Vrbo, and he'll be sharing with us a few points on that. And actually, Sunday, maybe you can pull up his screens for him if he's not able to get to it, and then Lee, you can kind of talk us through it.
Sure. Yeah, just let me know when you can see that screen. Let me see what I can do on my end here.
Okay, we're seeing the introductory screen there, I believe.
Okay, perfect. Okay, give me just one.
So we're so glad that Lee was able to join the webinar today. It's been a great experience actually getting this connection set up. And so glad that you could be here today, Lee.
Sure. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. So, Sanjay, are you going to be able to, you'll be able to scroll through for me?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you, everybody. We're excited to be here. Vrbo is very excited to have GraceSoft as a software partner. GraceSoft is celebrating their 25th anniversary, it looks like, and we're excited to be connected with them during this time. We're always looking for new partners, and we're always looking for new properties. So that's why I'm excited to talk to everyone here today. A little bit about me. My name again is Lee Mays, and I'm on the Vrbo Partner Success team, and I help property managers list on Vrbo, whether you use software or just list directly with us, but software makes the most sense. And that's really what I specialize is connecting your software to Vrbo so that you can manage everything from your software dashboard. I don't just work for Vrbo, I also list a vacation rental of my own on the site. So I know a little bit about some of the challenges you guys may face as hosts and property managers, and happy to kind of share some of that as we go. Next, just kind of a few things we're going to talk about real quick here is, who is Vrbo? For those of you who aren't familiar with us, I want to share a little bit about that, why you should consider using Vrbo. And then when you do, we want to make sure that you're set up for success. So we'll cover some tips and strategies there. And then, kind of how you optimize what you do in GraceSoft with Vrbo. And then we'll talk about just, essentially, how you can connect GraceSoft to Vrbo, and how I can help. Next. So I think most of you probably know that Vrbo is owned by Expedia Group. Expedia is the world's largest online travel agency. They have over 200 brands that they market travel products with, and about 700 million unique monthly visitors to their portfolio of travel sites, Vrbo being one of them. Next. Vrbo's been around for about 15 years. I'm sorry, for over 25 years. We have about 16 million monthly visitors that come to Vrbo looking for vacation rentals and unique lodging opportunities. That translates into about 257 million average monthly page views. We have over 2 million properties listed worldwide, and about 2/3 of our travelers are going to be families and groups of friends. And then, who are our travelers? As I mentioned, families. We market to families. We like families. Our demographic tends to be an older, affluent traveler. And when we compare our family travelers to, say, our Expedia counterparts, our travelers are 3 times more likely, they're going to stay 3 times more than those other travelers, longer. They're going to bring about 2 times more people than the average Expedia traveler, and they're going to stay probably 5 times longer than the other travelers. Or I'm sorry, spend more, 5 times more than the other travelers. And it's because they're bringing more people, they're booking larger properties, and they're going to spend more money as a result. And then, why do travelers want to choose Vrbo? Well, we have the largest platform of whole homes. I think travelers appreciate that when that's what they're looking for, but that's not all that we have. We have secure messaging and payments. Travelers like the fact that they can, go to Vrbo, choose a property, and communicate with the host and property manager, and know their payment is secure. Our site is easy to use, as well as our mobile app. We have instant confirmation. Now travelers want to be able to book their vacation rental lodging just like they do a hotel. So instant confirmation is important. For those of you that do like reservation requests, we also offer that option, but you'll get more out of instant confirmation, and we'll talk more about that. Vrbo offers the travelers a book with confidence guarantee. And really, this is just a support team for travelers. Once you book a property on Vrbo, you're supported by Vrbo. If for some reason you were not able to access the property upon arrival, Vrbo can help you contact the property owner, manager, provide you an access code to a keyless entry, etc. Travelers appreciate that. And then, really all these things, and the fact that we've been around for a long time, has led to trust. Travelers trust us, and that's why they come back and use Vrbo over and over. So how do we get people to come to Vrbo and book your properties and look for your properties? We market heavily. We use television. We use search engine optimization, search marketing optimization, and we're big on social media. We continue to develop new products for travelers like trip boards, which allows different groups of people to plan a trip without being in the same place together. We're rolling out new promotions for property managers and partners like you that reflect what Expedia has been doing for a while. Things like early bird pricing, promotional opportunities that you can use to attract more guests to your particular property. The Expedia network. We talked about the exposure and the power of Expedia. As a Vrbo partner listing on Vrbo, you can get Expedia exposure when you use instant booking or instant confirmation. Expedia will pull through your listings when they need the inventory, and when they book your property on Expedia, you don't pay their commission, which is typically 18 to 20%. You're only going to pay Vrbo's 5% commission. So it's a real bargain. It's a boost in traffic for us, and it's a benefit for you, the property manager. We're also part of Expedia's One Key Travel Rewards program. And that is we're the only OTA that has a rewards program, and that's fully funded by Expedia. So it doesn't cost you, the property manager, anything when a traveler wants to take advantage and use their Expedia points or One Key Cash. Next, please. And so this is just a little bit deeper dive into some of the marketing that we do. If you are a college football or a football fan and have seen, watched this past season, you probably saw plenty of our ads with Nick Saban promoting Vrbo, actually highlighting what Vrbo does, which is cater to families and offer, the whole home experience. We have a large social following, as I mentioned earlier, almost 2.5 million TikTok followers, Instagram 1.3 million, big following on Facebook, which of course reflects, kind of our older demographic. We also sponsor not just college football in general, but typically we sponsor a bowl game at the end of every year. Last year it was the Fiesta Bowl. This generates extra marketing and exposure, and it just puts the brand out there. So when people are traveling and planning trips, they know to search for Vrbo. We send out a lot of inspirational newsletters and shopping emails talking about vacations that travelers may be interested in, destinations, highlighting some opportunities, and getting people basically to click and instantly be on our site searching. And then our travel app has been one of the highest downloaded travel apps over the last couple of years. It's very popular with the trip board, as I mentioned, where people can, be in different places, older adults, families that want to plan a trip together, take advantage of those tools to book your property. And then, we get a large amount of search from Google along with our app and the Expedia network. So all those kind of combine to get people on Vrbo looking at your property when they're searching in your particular market. So these are the things that I think everybody should know, and hopefully they do know or need to know about Vrbo. And one, there's no cost to connect or list on Vrbo. When you connect your software to us, we're going to white glove you through that process. We don't charge you to connect. We don't charge you to list on Vrbo. You simply pay a 5% commission on any bookings you get. I mean, I think that's the most effective advertising out there, where there's no risk to invest. You only pay for what you get. When you connect with software to Vrbo, this is different than many other OTAs. You will be the merchant of record. And that means you're processing the guest's credit card. When they go to Vrbo to book, they'll put in their credit card information. Your payment gateway will encrypt and pull that information into GraceSoft, process the payment. Only when there's a confirmation of payment will GraceSoft book or block your calendar and record that as a reservation. This means better cash flow for you. You're getting paid within days of the guest booking versus when the guest checks in. So that can be months, even a year, for example. So the cash flow is better. You control the money. If somebody breaks a lamp, you have the guest payment details. You don't have to call Vrbo and ask for us to make a claim. You just simply contact the guest, let them know that was a $50 lamp, and you can charge it yourself if you choose to do so. And then the way we get our commission, our 5%, because we're not touching your money when the guest puts it in the system, is that we ask you to put a credit card on file, and then we'll bill the 5% on the second day of the following month after a guest checks out, which means if I check out today on March the 19th, then on April the 2nd, we would charge your credit card the 5% for that reservation. And that way we know the reservation is complete. It's not going to get canceled or revised, and that we're not going to have to go back and forth with commission payments. And then finally, just, a reminder to everybody that, GraceSoft is your source of truth. When you create your content in GraceSoft, you will feed it over to Vrbo. You won't build listings on Vrbo. And that means if you've already got the content built out in GraceSoft, you've already done most of the heavy lifting. The connection part is fairly easy. You just send us the content. And then if you want to make a change, you need to update a photo or a policy change, for example, you do it in the software and it flows over to us. So you really don't have to learn how to use Vrbo. You just want to be proficient with your software. And then, as I mentioned, we're the only OTA with a rewards program. And I want to talk a little bit about that and kind of what that can mean for you. And that's on the next slide. So you may have seen in the past some ads for Expedia's One Key rewards program. And this is designed to create opportunities for people that use Expedia, Hotels.com, and Vrbo to interact with each other. And so when you earn points on any of these sites, you can use them on any of the other sites. So if somebody could book your property on Vrbo, they would earn points for that they could then turn around and use to pay for the flight or rental car for the rest of their trip. And we're the first vacation rental platform that's really rolled anything out like this, because this is coming from Expedia. It already has a built-in membership. I mean, this program is coming up on about a year and a half that it's been in existence on Vrbo, but it's been around on Expedia for years. And so there's people that already have built up One Key cash, and now Vrbo is one more place to take advantage of that. And then, you can also earn One Key cash from a One Key credit card that we offer travelers if they choose to do that. So there's just multiple ways that people can earn this and then take advantage of it. And basically, it means it just gives them access to all of our brands and allows travelers from other sites to now focus on Vrbo as well. Next. If you could, let's see here. I'm not sure what happened on that slide, but I want to talk a little bit about, if we'll go down one more. Perfect. So the point of the other slide was that we're partner centric, and what that means is, we have people like myself that interact with property managers, help them get connected. We have teams that will help you succeed on Vrbo, and we do that. We have some research information that we can share by market. We can talk about the best practices that we know property managers use to be successful, not just on Vrbo, but in the business overall. And anything that we find on our site, we want to share it with property managers so that we don't make money unless you make money. Since there's no upfront cost, there's no subscription fee. The only way we make money is when someone books your property on our site. So we're committed to helping you get bookings from our travelers. And we want to make it as easy as possible for you to be a partner with us. And that's where we feel like the people part of our business is what separates us from some of the other OTAs. And this is a little bit about the next slide should be a little bit about the people. So we have account management teams, as I mentioned. These folks are designed to work with you throughout the year to help you optimize your listing, drive more bookings to your business, provide that research, share the traveler trends, come up with strategies that work for you. Every market is different. Every property is different. So there's not a one size fits all approach. And that's why we need people that can consult with you, learn more about what you need, what's going on in your market, and how to help. And then we have an IPM support team. This is the integrated property manager support team. These folks only work with Vrbo partners that connect with software. So if you had an issue, you would not go to our general support team. You would want to contact this team. They can provide, all sorts of support and resources on how our software works or how our site works with your software. They can provide technical assistance. They can help with booking and payment issues. If there are any, they can help you with reviews and review strategies, guest communications, and any policy or legal guidance. As more and more regulations get rolled out across the country, this is an important part of what we do, is making sure people are in compliance and helping them make sure that they are. Next slide. And so this is just a few what I call optimization tips for partners. When you're using Vrbo, you're going to manage everything from your software. but there's still some things that you're going to want to tweak once in a while to make sure that your Vrbo listings are competing well, and really your overall listings, whether you use Vrbo or other OTAs or even your own direct booking website. And so we'll talk about a few of those here. All the OTAs really operate, I believe, on what we call the big four, and that is creating quality content, setting competitive rates and policies, and then accepting and honoring reservations, booking management, making sure the calendar is set up so that anything you get is something that you want, and then earning great reviews. And so those are the four main things that help properties succeed, because the algorithm is based on, we're going to reward the properties that travelers want. And this is what travelers want. Excuse me. Next slide, please. So kind of dive in a little bit into the quality content part of it. It's important that you have a great set of headline. That's kind of that selling statement that's going to get people to choose you on our search page. And then when they click, we want to make sure that they can see everything that your property offers. And not just when they're searching in the listing, but a lot of the content that you will create in GraceSoft, these are searchable filters, things like your pool, your property type, your location type. Travelers can search by all these different things before they even start looking at properties and filter out what they want and what they don't want. So what I tell property managers when they connect with software, GraceSoft has spent a lot of money creating a lot of content opportunities. If your property offers it, make sure you've checked it off or included it in your content setup in the software. Photos, you'll always hear photos are the most important part of the listing. You want to make sure that you have high quality photos. Also, you want to take advantage of photo caption tools so that you can tell people a little bit more about what they're looking at. And then amenities, as I mentioned before, amenities just show everything that you offer. And there's even things that may not be maybe something you don't have. Maybe you don't have a charcoal grill for your property. If your property allows one, they're cheap, get one. That's another amenity that you can check off. Travelers love charcoal grills. And then when they search for it, if you have it checked off, you'll show up in that search, where if you didn't check it off, you're not visible. And so you want to make sure you show up in as many searches as possible to get as many bookings as possible. Next slide, please. And then these are the top amenities, or really the top travel filters that our travelers are choosing. So if your property has a pool, you want to make sure that's included. If you have a hot tub, kitchen, again, these are what they're looking for. Not every property can allow for pets, but if your property does, that's one of the most sought out filters. So make sure that you're letting people know, not just when you check off in the amenities that you allow pets or the house rules and policies, but also in your headline. If just put the word pets at the end of the headline, that will get travelers to look and know, hey, this is good for us. Let's look here. And then your location is very important. Having entertainment, TV, Wi-Fi, parking, anywhere you can note the size of the beds is great. So that's a great thing to do, not just in the room setup and the amenities, but also in the photo captioning. When someone looks at a room, there's a king bed, there's a queen bed, this is a double. That lets them know exactly what they're going to get and helps them make a great choice so that they're not disappointed when they get there. And then next slide, please. So a little bit more about some of the guest filters. The free cancellation, this is really a result of your cancellation policy that you'll set up in GraceSoft. So the more flexible your policy, the more bookings you're going to get. Just give travelers love flexibility. Not everybody can be the most flexible, but this is a listing level feature. So anytime you can offer cancellation policy flexibility, it's going to help you out. We're going to show it on your listing, and it's also something that travelers can search for as a filter. I mentioned pets. This is a great example on that number 2 listing there, how someone, put dog friendly in there. And then Premier Host. You see the Premier Host badge on all these listings. This is a a way to show travelers that you've done a great job. And this is an account level feature. So, if you have 10 listings in your portfolio, you become a premier host, you expand your property or your portfolio to include a few more listings, they'll automatically be premier host when you activate them on Vrbo. Premier host properties also get a boost in search, not just from the algorithm, but because travelers will search by filter. I just want to look at premier host properties, so that's all they're going to see. So it's something that we can help you achieve and something that we offer that is a great benefit for those that do a great job. Next. And then I mentioned earlier a little bit about instant booking. What is the easiest way to improve your performance on our site? It is instant booking. Travelers want to be able to book your property like a hotel. It gives you improved search position on our site because more people are searching for instant confirmation. You get increased exposure result of that. You get about 24% more revenue, and that's really because there's about a 33% booking conversion, and that's the highest. We do offer reservation request, but instant booking is what people want. And in addition to the conversion rate, it also gets you exposure on the Expedia network. They don't have a reservation request. Vrbo's the only site in the Expedia brand portfolio that has reservation requests. So if you use instant booking, you can now get picked up on these Expedia sites like Orbitz, Travelocity, etc. And overall, it's going to save you some time. It's just less back and forth. I have a lot of guests that will they book the property, and I communicate the instructions on how to check in, and then I hear from them when they check out, and that's about it. So it is a very seamless way to get bookings and increase your business. And then next, reviews. Mentioned reviews are a big one of the 4 pillars that help you succeed on Vrbo. And 92% of travelers, they want to see a review before they book, and this makes sense, not just on vacation sites, but anything that we shop now online. We want to know what other people thought and what kind of experience they had. We have a 2-way process. It's a blind process where, if somebody stays at your property and they review your property, you've got 2 weeks to rate them as a guest, or if you rate them as a guest first, they have 2 weeks to review you, or they're locked out. And the idea is it prevents retaliation. So when someone checks out, we're going to send them a request to review your property. 11 days later, if they haven't, we'll send another request. And then you have some options that you would do on Vrbo. You would go to the reviews section of the Vrbo dashboard, and you can request a review or you can rate the guest, either way. And that will help produce more reviews, and then more reviews means more bookings. So it's a great way to, it give yourself credit for the work that you do. And I imagine most of you are excellent at generating 5-star reviews. We'll want you to rack up as many on Vrbo as possible. Next, please. And then this is a little bit more about the GraceSoft connection. So let's talk about that. We'll go into the next slide. When we talked about instant booking, this is something that you would set up in GraceSoft. So you want to make sure before you connect to Vrbo that you understand what your settings are in the software, so that when your connection is complete, the content, the policies, the custom house rules flow over the way you want. Another great feature of having GraceSoft software is something called canceled by owner or traveler owner. On Vrbo, if you list without software, if you have to cancel a guest for some reason, that can create a penalty. Maybe a guest calls you and asks you to cancel because they can't make it. You're a super conscientious host and you cancel for them. Well, you would be penalized on Vrbo for that because it looks like you don't want that reservation. With GraceSoft, you have the ability to go in and say, well, the traveler wanted me to cancel this. So you can cancel for the traveler without being penalized. And vice versa, if you find out that someone is not following the rules, or maybe they're trying to bring more people than you allow, someone wants to bring a pet to a property that has no pet policy and can't accept pets, then you can cancel them as a house rules violation and you're not penalized. So it gives you control over that reservation that you don't have if you didn't have software. So that's a great feature to have GraceSoft. And then a couple of more. Let's take a look at the next page. This is an important one. Display the map pin. And this is something in GraceSoft that you'll be able to choose between, do I want to show travelers my general area or my exact location? Unless there's some really good reason I haven't heard of, choose exact location. And the reason why, it's going to perform better in our search algorithm. It actually is a quality content enhancement when you show the exact location. But when you show that to the traveler, that doesn't mean we're giving them the address. Only you, the property manager, can give the address. So even if it's a vacation rental home, we won't give the address. You would give that. They can see what street it's on probably, but they don't know really which house it is. If you have you're part of it, maybe a large condominium complex and you're renting out some condominiums, we won't show the address of the condominium or the unit number. Only you can give that, but it will help you get more bookings. And so you want to make sure you have exact location set up in GraceSoft. And as I've mentioned before, always show every amenity. And when someone connects, I like to remind them, before you connect, go through your software, any possible box you can check in the software, anything you can complete that will that GraceSoft has built out, please do it. If it's appropriate for your property. Obviously, if you don't offer it, you don't want to do it. But if you can do it, you should do it. All those are searchable filters. They improve your search algorithm score because it's showing more content. More is better. And then, always you've got to have your calendar set up. You've got to have rates configured in the calendar so that you're able to, offer only what's available. We want you to be happy with a booking. So having the calendar correctly managed with the correct rates means you can accept those bookings as they come in. And then next slide. And so this is really just kind of a summation of everything. It's the quality content that's going to attract the traveler in our search page to click on your property. Maintain the premier host, which is a high acceptance rate, a low cancellation rate, a great review score, and this will earn you the premier host badge and will give you a lift in search, which leads to that perpetual cycle of success. So you're constantly getting booked because you're constantly at the top. And then you want to have competitive policies. And this is cancellation policies. These are things like, can I be more flexible with my cancellation policy? Can I offer pets to be a part of it? What can I do to make it easy for guests to book my property and eliminate cancellation fees? A lot of properties like to have some little fee they tack on when a guest cancels. Try to find a policy that allows you to be competitive without having to, dissuade cancellations with a fee. Travelers don't like it. It prohibits bookings and it can lead to issues. So if you can eliminate cancellation fees, that's awesome. Accept and honor bookings. Again, this is how the site works. We want, we're only going to push people up to the top that are accepting and honoring the reservations we send them. And then have a great review strategy. And so even though we're sending out a couple of review requests, it's a good idea for someone at your property to check our reviews page at least once a month and go through and say, hey, here's some actions I can take. I didn't get these reviews. Let me go see if I can get them to leave a review. And then the integration features. Again, you've invested money to partner up with GraceSoft, take full advantage of everything that they've built out and developed. It's there to help you not just with your direct booking website, but on partners like Vrbo. And it's a great product, and it makes your life so much easier when you can manage everything from one software dashboard versus having to go to a direct booking website and a bunch of different OTA partners. And then this is kind of how to connect. Again, what I do here is offer a white glove onboarding process. If you're interested or have questions about connecting your software to Vrbo, I'd love to hear from you. I'll share my contact details here on the next slide. The first step really is making sure that you've got everything set up in the software. And, if you're onboarding with GraceSoft right now, make sure that you're done with the onboarding, everything's good to go. And then the next step would be to activate us as a channel partner within your software and then export your listings. And then that's a great time to reach out to me. GraceSoft also has the ability to provide you with our self-serve onboarding form. If you were to complete that form or get an error at any point, hold on to my contact details on the next page, reach out directly to me, and I'll get you set up. Once you've completed the onboarding form, that will create an activation project on Vrbo and put you in the queue for our tech team. They'll reach out, verify everything is good to go, and get you live within a couple of days. And they're great folks to work with. And the key is just being ready to go, and that's kind of what I do, is to help make sure that people are ready to go. But GraceSoft will do that as well. And then finally, at this point, I think it's maybe time for some questions. That last slide, this is me, Lee Mays, and there's my email, and that's a direct line to my office. I'm in Austin, Texas, Central Standard Time, and happy to talk to anybody that's interested in connecting on Vrbo. If for any reason I'm not able to help you out, I can definitely get you to the right team that can. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Sarah.
Thank you, Lee. That was so good. Really gave a really good picture of how Vrbo operates and how you work with your property contacts. And so I see one of our customers has already said that they'll be in touch. So we've got someone ready to go. Good. Any questions? You can either put on chat or unmute if you have a question. And then I was just going to give a closing here and a real quick preview of what the onboarding looks in terms of making the connection from GraceSoft to Vrbo. And then we'll let you also know how you can sign up and get going on this. So we're just going to take another 2 minutes on this. I don't see any questions yet. So as Lee mentioned, if you're already a customer with GraceSoft, you've already got your room listings, rates, everything's already in our GraceSoft system. And so there's just a couple areas that you would go through once you've created basically an ID with Vrbo. And so we're going to take a quick look at that. So on our OTA connectivity, you're going to see a Vrbo option. And once you open that up, your room listings, it's already going to list at the top. And then if you scroll down, you're just going to have a little section to fill out. And this is where you'll be able to fill in some of those details that Lee was referring to in terms of going ahead and defining your cancellation policy. There's some pre-formatted ones that you can select from. If those don't work for you, you can even do a custom cancellation policy, but that's already pre-filled for you. Make it easy. Of course, it's going to be instant bookings. And then you just set up, some of your details about what's allowed on your property, check and checkout time. That's it. Pretty simple screen here. And then the other one that you would update before sending all this over to Vrbo would be your property listings. And so at the top of your screen, all of this information, pictures, it's going to be included in your Vrbo listing. So that work's already done. And then if you scroll down again, there's just a little additional section where Lee was referring to amenities, amenities, amenities. So you want to fill this out as best you can. And you're going to define exactly what's included at your property. You've got all kinds of things to select from there. And then also you're going to specifically define what kind of a bathroom do you have? What's in the bathroom? What kind of beds are in this bedroom? And so this is all of those things, and it's easy. You just select from the list, and it's real easy to just click through, fill it out. You know your listing, you know what's in your property. And then there's just two little sections to fill out. That first one, headline, that's the one that's going to pop up at the top. So make sure you make that attractive and, something that will attract people to want to book this listing. And then there's a little longer description as well. So That's pretty much it. And I just want to add to what Lee's been saying. It has been a great experience, GraceSoft working with Vrbo. They have a very detailed, setup for their listings, but it's really designed because, they've got the experience. They know what guests are looking for. And one thing that's I think our customers are going to enjoy is that you'll be able to manage content from GraceSoft. You're not going to have to be bouncing back and forth between GraceSoft and Vrbo. Like it's going to pretty much flow from GraceSoft. And if we ever need a help from Vrbo in terms of just marketing and so forth, they've got good contacts, good process for that. So the last thing, how do you get set up? Everyone who's on the webinar will make sure you get this link. It'll be going up on our website also. But we've got a get started button. You just click on that, fill out the form. Our team will get your information, get in touch with you, and get you started on setting up the connection. So good. I see maybe one question coming in. Yes, one question. Would we have to create two types of listings because we have a deluxe and premier type of condo? So on the GraceSoft side, this is Starfish Point. On the GraceSoft side, if these are already two separate room types, then they will be created as separate listings on Vrbo. And so each and every condo that you are booking would be a separate listing. Yep. And we'll work with you to make sure you get all that defined. But good.
And another great point there is that because you're setting it up in GraceSoft, the properties are synced up. So I'm assuming if I book maybe one, if they're tied together, sometimes, for example, people have a duplex. They want to rent out the whole duplex, so that's one listing. They want to rent out side A or B, that would be 2 and 3 listings total. But when you have a software like GraceSoft, those are all synced up, and then you're not going to get double booked. But you can offer the travelers more options. I don't know if that's exactly the example you were sharing, but that's what it made me think of that.
Okay. Okay, good. And I see just another question coming in. Follow-up question maybe. Any other questions from anyone else on the call today? Okay, 6 condos, yes, that would be 6 separate listings. Yes. Uh-huh. Okay. Good. Well, this was great, and we really look forward. I know we've got quite a few customers that are going to be onboarding with this, and hopefully we'll see some other conversions from the Vrbo side as well. But I think this is going to be very beneficial for everyone involved. So thank you so much, Lee, for taking the time to be in this webinar with us. And thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you as well. Appreciate it, Sarah. Thanks, everyone. Look forward to hearing from you.
All right.